Well, manufacturing is one of the activities at the core of, I think, its sustainability in terms of its opportunities and threats, I might add. Particularly when you look at opportunities to reduce waste, improve productivity, when you look at safety and how that can improve productivity, employee motivation, all of those things which are things that are stimulated by a push towards sustainability, by looking at the environmental, social, economic issues. All those things can help make you more competitive from a manufacturing perspective. And then when you look at product design, trying to come up with innovative products, trying to be more competitive, sustainability really helps you see what the future is. Looking at those trends that are out there, you understand the world as it is, the world as it's most likely to be, and that's the world you want to plan for. That's the world you want to design products for. That's the world you want to recruit employees for. And so I think by addressing sustainability in the manufacturing setting, you're just going to be a better manufacturer. And really what it's about is this thing called the triple bottom line. From an organizational perspective, if you're an organization, a company, a school, the way you look at it is that you're really trying to meet the triple bottom line. That's one way of looking at it. And by the triple bottom line, we mean in business there's the bottom line of financial performance, of making profits. You have to do that. That's one of the things by which you're judged. And so it used to be that was the only bottom line. But the new thinking is that there's more than one bottom line. There's an environmental bottom line, there's a social bottom line, and you have to undertake things around social issues, whether it's diversity, whether it's equal employment opportunity, whether it's working with your communities around social issues. You have to undertake those sorts of things as well as look at the environment. And people said to me, well, Bill, what's most important here? Isn't the economics, isn't the financial performance really the only thing that's most important? And I say to them, well, tell me this, what's most important to human life? Is it air, is it water, or is it food? Because certainly if you go without air, you're not going to last very long. But you can have all the air you want, and if you have no food, you're also going to perish. And the same thing is true with regard to water. And so that's the way I look at the triple bottom line. Certainly economic issues, financial issues may be the most pressing thing for the company, but if you're not going to, as an organization, address social and environmental issues, you're not going to survive and prosper and be most competitive. Well, there have always been highly ethical manufacturers, and there have been those that haven't been so ethical. So ethics really underlies all of this, and it's doing what's right by your employees, by your communities, for others that may not even be here today, the future generations. So you've always had those people that were altruistic, who've run companies, who've run manufacturing operations, that have tried to do the right thing. What's different today is that we've got a whole new set of issues that were never upon us before. Water challenges, running out of fossil fuels, fisheries that are in decline, lots of different challenges that we didn't have to face before. We thought the supplies, the resources were unlimited. Now we're finding that's not so. So now we're forced as manufacturers to think about things in new ways and to plan for the future, and the future where some of those resources may not be available, or certainly not available at a price that's going to be attractive to us. So that's what's really happening here, is that we're faced with new challenges, and this has brought these issues, sustainability issues, to the fore. Manufacturing in the U.S. and certainly in northern Wisconsin is not dead at all. New challenges, certainly new challenges to be innovative. We can't compete just on low-cost labor. That's not our market anymore. That belongs to Southeast Asia and Africa and places like that. That's where low-cost labor is. But if we want to be innovative, if we want to come up with new creative products, if we want to create some skilled workers, train some skilled workers and skills that perhaps we can't find elsewhere in the world, then we'll be as competitive as anybody. It's just that we have to go about it in different ways. We have to think about sustainability as we do that, because that will make us a more competitive company, because it will prepare us for the future, perhaps in ways that companies outside the U.S. are not doing. Yes, sustainability does create challenges for academic institutions. The kinds of training and education we're giving people today may not be preparing them for the kinds of challenges that we're now facing. These are not silo problems. It's not just a matter, oh, this is a mathematics problem, or this is a biology problem, or this is some sort of air pollution problem. It's now multidimensional. There are social issues, there are environmental issues, there are scientific issues that are involved in these difficult problems. And what it calls for is more integrated thinking, teamwork, more focus, not focused just on silos, but focused on working together to solve these challenges. And we need to create educational institutions that are more challenging for our students and that get them to think in these new ways. And with that, then we'll be able to compete on the world market. We used to be the tops in education. That's no longer true. You've got other countries, certainly Japan, even in China, they're bringing out students faster than we are. They're devoting a lot more resources to education. They're spending a lot more time teaching their students. We need to do some of that, but we need to give them this new thinking. Actually, that's a critical part. It's critical that you achieve this support, not just support, but aggressive support by your communities and the stakeholders that you have, your employees, your investors, your suppliers. Those folks are the folks that really determine whether you're going to be successful over the long term. And if you take a path towards sustainability, one of the purposes of doing that is to facilitate, is to strengthen that loyalty, strengthen the loyalty of your communities. If you're a company that's focused on sustainability, that's the kind of company that communities want. They want companies that are responsible, that pay decent wages, that are environmentally conscious, that help with their social issues, that help with their educational programs. Those are the kinds of communities that they would deeply regret losing. And so when you create that kind of loyalty through a drive towards sustainability, you're more likely to see that your business sticks around, so that, you know, maybe it's not going to be so easy for the company to disappear through outsourcing, because the community is going to do what it needs to do to keep you there and to attract you and to perhaps provide tax benefits or employee benefits or those kinds of things that companies need to survive these days. Well, when you look at sustainability, I think you need to look at it as companies used to look at quality. They said, well, you know, what is this quality process about? Why do we need to focus on quality? What's in it for us? Isn't this going to cost us a lot of money? Isn't this going to take up a lot of time of our people? And certainly in the beginning, in the 80s, when this was sort of a new idea, something that companies felt they should do, what you did see is a lot of investment in effort, in time, and some money there too, to get the institutions, the organizations, companies, even academia up to speed on quality. But after a while, it became integrated. It became part of the way people thought about it. It became something that was second nature. It wasn't a new appendage that was added on. It was the lifeblood of the organization. That's what you need to do with quality. And certainly the same thing can be said about sustainability. We don't want it as an add-on, as reputational paint, as a separate appendage, but we want it to be the lifeblood of the organization. And once it becomes the lifeblood, then you see lots of opportunities arise, opportunities to improve productivity, reduce waste, reduce costs, reduce accidents, improve employee morale, be more innovative in the design of products. Those sorts of things are the things that flow in the aftermath of a sustainability culture. But it's the effort of creating that culture that's the real challenge. And indeed, it will require some effort. Well, the challenge is this. If Wisconsin manufacturing says, oh, I choose not to think about sustainability, I choose to ignore it, basically what they're saying is, I choose to close my eyes to the future and actually to the present, the things that are really going on in this world and the things that are likely to happen in this world. Because we have these sustainability trends that are underway. We might wish that they weren't there, but they are. And so to be competitive, to be able to do business over the long term, you're going to need to respond to the future. You're going to need to plan for the future. You're going to need to create the products and the processes that are suited, for the future. And that's what's the consequence. If they don't do that, then basically they've closed their eyes to the future, and your competitor in another state over or two, will be embracing those concepts, will be looking at the future in 2020 vision, and will be doing the things that are going to make them successful, so you'll be left behind. That's the real risk that we pose if we do not pursue this.